So the bond we have is pretty unique. I spend more time with my dog than my wife, my son, my family. We spend every day together. We have interesting conversations together. So we are the oldest team right now active for the Appleton Police Department. Next year will most likely be his last year working for the police department. Once we've worked our last shift together as a team, he is going to end up retiring and come live at home with me. He'll probably always be a police dog at heart, but he's getting towards the upper end of age where it's time to start looking at the future and developing a new canine team to take our spots.
Officer Haney is in his 6th year with Gecko, and these dogs have a service life. Just like all of us, we want to retire healthy and happy and have a couple of good years after retirement. The dogs are much the same way. And so Officer Haney is preparing now to transition Gecko out of the force, and they will select a new dog and a new handler that will be able to continue that service.
The goal for us as police officers and canine handlers is to effect an arrest in the safest way possible for both the officers and the suspect that we're trying to take into custody. There have been numerous times that we've had canines on scene in Appleton where the presence of the dog, whether the suspect sees the dog, hears the dog barking, and that deep, visceral bark that all our 3 dogs have. The suspect, more often than not, will comply with our verbal commands to them and surrender without incident. And that's really the goal as a handler, is to not have to use force on somebody. It's safer for us as officers. It's safer for the person we're trying to take into custody. On numerous occasions has prevented us in potentially getting in a physical altercation with the suspect, prevented us from having to use force on a suspect, as well as preventing suspects from fleeing on foot, which is inherently dangerous for us to chase people through backyards or dark alleys where our safety and, again, the safety of the suspect could be at risk.
The need has increased so much over the last 10 years that it's a full-time job for not just 1 dog or 2 dogs, oftentimes 3 dogs. With the impending retirement of Gecko, we need to get a dog in line to replace him. The biggest need right now is, the financial wherewithal to purchase a dog and train another handler.
So you're gonna give me a thumbs up when you're ready? Get out of here, poodle boy!
We promised the City Council and the taxpayers that we would foot the bill for this program for the first 3 years. Lo and behold, 10 years later, we've been successful enough in perennial gifts and generous giving by the community that we haven't had to tap the taxpayers yet. And I'd love to be able to continue that. As chairman of the fundraising committee, I would see nothing more than the success of this program continuing. It isn't just a feel-good purpose here. These dogs work hard to protect the officers and the safety of the residents within the communities.